is GRID. It's called grid trading. It's something in which, as investors and as traders, we've known about and we've utilized it for quite a while. But one of the reasons why we have not been grid trading is because of the amount of time and effort it takes to manage trades. But it is probably one of the most highly accurate strategies available throughout this market. It's also referred to as, and I don't like saying this, but it's the truth, it's referred to as the no-loss strategy, to where you can optimize any strategy of your choice and turn it into a 90+% win ratio. Some of you have really fantastic strategies to where you have a wonderful strategy designed for a specific market condition. Type in ME, M-E, if you have a really great strategy and you're kind of like, Josh, I love this strategy. I make lots of profit with it. The only struggle is when the market conditions change, it doesn't work. So it forces me to not use it. Okay, type in ME if you kind of have a trending strategy that only works during trending, and you have a consolidation strategy that only works sideways in sideways market. If you learn how to grid trade, you can optimize those strategies and turn it into a universal approach. Okay, let's pull up the Euro Aussie and let me kind of walk you through what I mean. Okay, so what the heck is grid trading? Well, let me pull up the Euro Aussie and kind of prove the concept first. We're going to bring up the monthly time frame. And so what's the theory behind grid trading? Well, the theory behind grid trading is this, that the markets stick around the same price points and form highs inside of the same areas and form lows inside the same areas over and over and over and over and over again. And just do me a favor to appease me. Just want to make sure that you thoroughly understand this and that you're seeing this. But type in yes if you can agree that the Euro Australian dollar off of a monthly time frame has hung around the same price points the majority of the time. Where the market stayed in the top yellow box, then made a shift, but created and stayed in the range of the bottom yellow box. Okay, type in a yes if you can see that. These are also known as grids, G-R-I-D. And these grids basically will make investors extremely profitable and will allow strategies to be optimized if done correctly. Okay, so let me kind of walk you through this. Let me take out the watermark so I have a little bit more of a clear picture of how this works. And let me go ahead and zoom in here. Okay, and let me just ask you a couple questions. Let's just say, for argument's sake, for whatever reason, you made the decision, you said, okay, I'm going to trade this grid. And what if by default you said, I am going to buy the market every time it touches this green line? So every time it touched the green line, you said, I'm going to automatically buy the market, and when the market goes up, I'm going to strategically exit out. So you bought it there, you bought it here, you bought it there, you bought it here. Type in yes, Y-E-S, if you would agree that if you would have strategically, by default, said I'm only going to buy the market on that green line, that you could make profit on the way up. Okay? Now, what if you did that again? What if you said, okay, well, I'm going to, because the market's ranging, every time the market touches this green line, I'm going to buy the market. And I'm going to take the market towards the top of the grid. So every time it touches this green line, I'm going to buy, 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 I'm going to buy. And I should make profit when the market goes up. Type in yes, Y-E-S if you're starting to see that. So the theory behind grid trading is the fact of the matter that this market will hang around the same price points over and over and over again, which is extremely true and extremely accurate. Now let me draw out and illustrate to you the concept. So what you're going to have to do if you want to do this is you're going to have to determine a grid, which basically means that you come in here and you say, this is the bottom of my grid and this is the top of my grid. And then what you need to do is you need to come in here and strategically identify levels in which you're going to say, I'm going to enter in strategically buying or selling every time it touches one of these levels. Is everybody following along so far? Okay. So let me walk you through the concept of being a grid trader. So after you have identified a grid, which is actually, I'm going to show you the formula. I have a formula which I use to find a grid, and I'm going to share that formula with you. I'm actually going to give you every single step, so when you leave here, you can duplicate and you can find grids on any currency pair of your choice. It's actually going to be really neat, okay? Now, when you analyze the market, and the market begins to wave, the market begins to move, and you say to yourself, okay, for whatever reason, let's just call this orange line, let's just call this orange line the live market, and for whatever reason, you decide to buy the market. Well, how grid trading works is the distance between each level is a specific amount of pips. And what you're trying to accomplish here is you're trying to say to yourself, okay, I am trying to make 400 pips net, okay? And I would like to close out making 400 pips every single time. Now, I can make my 400 pips in one trade, I can make my 400 pips in two trades, I can make my 400 pips in four trades, but I need to close out making 400 pips at a time. And I know that if I appropriately grid trade, I can have like 10 or 20 winning closeouts at 400 pips each. So let's just pretend that the distance between each of these levels, let's just pretend that they are 150 pips. So your level, and every currency pair is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to teach you the formula how to find that. Your level is 150 pips apart. So this is how this works. You buy the market. The market rallies up. You're now 150 pips in the profit. Okay, you bought in, you're now 150 pips in the profit. You buy, your grid buys you again, okay? Then the market continues to rally to the next level. And this next level is 150 pips. So, but what just happened here is you made 300 pips off your first trade, and then your second trade sized you in, okay? So now you have a net closeout, net of 400 pips. So you actually closed out prior. So you're done. This trade's done and over with, okay? And then because you're grid trading, you're saying to yourself, okay, well, I'm just going to strategically wait for the market to kind of retrace. You already had your closeout right around here. You say, hey, I'm going to strategically let my market retrace and find a low price. And then for whatever reason, you say, okay, I'm buying in again. So you buy the market. And then this time, the market goes against you. And then this time, what ends up happening is the market falls down, and because you're grid trading, you buy it again strategically. So now you have one trade that's negative, and then you just bought it again. Then all of a sudden, what ends up happening is the market decides to rally up, and now you're 150 pips off your second trade, you break even off your first trade, market rallies up again, and now you are 300 pips on your first trade, and you with your second trade, you now are able to net another 400 pips. Type in yes if you're following along. So this is another net closeout of 400 pips. Now, let's just say for whatever reason you continue this process up and down, and because the market maintains the grid of going up and down, up and down, up and down, strategically what ends up happening is you have what's called a no-lose strategy, okay? And you're strategically grid trading, and you're taking advantage of all these little wins across the board, okay? It's a fantastic way to optimize any strategy. Type in me, M-E, if you want me to demonstrate to you how to apply the grid onto the live market. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking to yourself, Josh, this looks like a lot of work. This looks like I'm going to be tied up placing like 1 million orders. And this looks like it's going to consume all of my time. And you know what? You're right. You're absolutely correct. And that's the number one reason why we have not been grid trading. And that's number one reason why we have not been utilizing this within live presentations, because it is not just a full-time job. It's like 3 full-time jobs to manage all these levels until now. Now, we have been able to develop the technology to automate your grid. Now, we've been able to develop the technology to apply the grid and manage the grid with just a few clicks of a button, which is extremely amazing because, number one, it's not available anywhere else in the world, number one, and number two, it makes your life super simple. Okay, so this is what I want to do. I'm going to show you how we can automate the grid, and then we're going to apply, I'm going to show you 2 strategies. I'm going to show you a strategy that says, hey Josh, I don't know anything about the Forex market, but I want to win 90% of my trades. I'm going to share with you that strategy. And then I'm going to share with you an advanced strategy that's going to make your life super simple. But first, I need to teach you my formula to finding a grid. So everyone grab a pen and sheet of paper, please. I want you to copy this down. Here are my rules. I want you to use this and do this on your own, okay? Number 1, you need to have 500 bars of memory. Number 2, you need to find and mark the highest price and lowest price. Number 3, measure the distance between the highest and lowest price. Number 4, times that number by 3. Number 5, divide that number by 2. Number 6, divide that number by 10. You now have your distance between your levels in your grid. The issue with grid trading is you can't just slap on a price point and just say, hey, this is going to work for every single currency pair and every single time frame. You have to have a formula to finding your distance between levels. These 6 steps is going to help you determine those levels. You can use this on any time frame and any currency pair. It will work the same. Okay, I will teach you how to utilize this and apply this appropriately. But type in done, D-O-N-E, when you copy down those 6 steps. I've been done, D-O-N-E, when you copy down those 6 steps. That'll let me know that I can then demonstrate the 6 steps in front of you. Okay, we're going to do this on a couple currency pairs, and I think you're really going to enjoy this. In my opinion, if you are a mastermind trader, if you are a leveling trader or a target trader, this is going to be a must-have for you. Okay, you're going to want this because this is going to make your life super relaxed. Okay, and you're going to become super efficient. Now, let's follow the steps. Step 1. Do I have 500 bars of memory? Yes, bars 500. Step 2, find and mark the highest point and find and mark the lowest point. Got it. Step 3, measure the distance between the highest point and the lowest point. So that is a total of 771. So that's 771 pips. Now I'm going to times that number by 3, and that's what? 771 times it by 3. 771 times it by 3 is 2313. So 2313. Now I'm going to take 2313 and I'm going to divide that number by 2. What's that? 2313 divided by 2 is what? Divide that by 2. That is 1156. So 1,156. Now I'm going to take that number, 1,156, and I'm going to divide that by 10. That's the number of levels I want in my grid. Now, what's that number? 1156 divided that by 10, 115. So 115 pips is the distance in my grid. You can use this formula on any currency pair, and any time frame, okay? Now, watch this, okay? X means time, so times that number. So when I right-click on my screen, you only have, I'm the only one that has this right now, but I will be releasing this to you if you want it, okay? Now, I'm going to right-click on my screen, and down here, you're going to see what's called the matrix. The matrix is where I can automate my grid, okay? So once again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click on my screen, and I'm going to left-click over matrix. This is going to allow me to automate my grid. This is what I'm going to do. I have the number of levels. I can do up to 10, which means, real quick, type in me, M-E, if you're a mastermind trader. Type in me if you're a leveling trader, and type in me if you're a target trader. If you're a leveling mastermind or target trader, you're going to need this. You're going to love this, and you're going to want this, because this is going to make your life super simple. Because if you're like a leveling trader, you see where it says 5? Those are your 5 levels, okay? But we're going to be grid trading. Now, I can type in the number of what my lot sizes will be. The distance of pips will be 115 pips, because that's what our formula. I can make the decision to only have the grid above the live market. So if I only want to take buys, I can have it just above the live market. If I only want to buy below the live market, I can just type in below the live market. But I want to do both sides because I'm grid trading. Now, I have this button. It's called Close All Orders on Net Pips. If I type in 200, that means that whenever my P&L, profit and loss statement, becomes 200 pips, everything's closed out. All my grids are taken off the charts automatically, and I close the trade with 200 pips. If I type in 100, that means if I'm up 100 pips, I close out all my trades automatically. That can be done with 1 trade. That can be done with 5 trades. That can be done with 10 trades. This is a very, very important aspect. Type in yes, why yes, you understand that if I typed in here 300, as soon as I'm up 300 pips, whether it's within 1 trade or 5 trades, doesn't matter. Once I'm up 300 pips, all my trades are closed out automatically for me, and then my grids are removed off the charts. Wonderful. So I'm going to teach you, and then we have stops and limits, which I'm going to show you in the advanced way. But I'm going to teach you a very simple way. Now watch this. Watch your screen. I'm going to apply my grid in 3, 2, 1, release. Type in yes if you can see that my grid is now on my charts. My grid is automated. I am now buying this market, and I have effectively applied an appropriate grid that's structured with a formula of success. And now I'm going to walk you through the process on what a grid trader's life looks like, what it feels like. And by the way, this is automated now. And so I can walk away and my grids will take care of themselves. It's actually pretty amazing. Okay, now watch. Let me show you about a month from last month. And we're going to walk you through this concept of being a grid trader, what it looks like, and what does it mean. There's 2 strategies which I'm going to teach you. Strategy number 1 is I know absolutely nothing about the Forex market, but I want to be a successful trader. And I want to win 90% of my trades. I'm going to teach you that strategy first. Some of you who are brand new, some of you who are just learning about this, some of you that don't know your technicals yet, and you're kind of like, Josh, I'm still struggling with my technicals, I'm going to demonstrate the strategy that you're going to use. If you're already a consistent, profitable investor, you're already making money, you know how the larger time frames work, the smaller time frames work, and you like the idea of the advancements, and you have your favorite entry strategy, I'm going to show you how you use this to optimize it, okay? The goal here is to get those 90+% win ratios. So for argument's sake, this is how this works. You buy the market. Now, the distance between each of these lines is 115 pips. I'm buying the market now because I'm trading my grid. I don't know anything about the Forex market, but I want to win 90% of the time. If this market is up 115 pips net, I'm going to automatically close out of my trade. That will be done for me. Let's see what happens. You can use this off any currency pair, any time frame, as long as you follow the formula to find the distance between your grid. That's very, very important. Okay, so let's see what happens. Bingo. Type in yes if you can see that the market just hit the next level up. That means I just closed out with net 115 pips. I'm done. But because I know absolutely nothing about the Forex market, and because as a trader I still want to win 90% of my trades, that's my goal, I'm going to continue to trade with the grid. So I'm just going to buy in again. Okay, and I'm going to relaunch my grid. Let's see what happens. Okay, market rallies up, hits the next level. I just made another 115 pips. That's my automatic closeout. But because I know absolutely nothing about the Forex market, but I still want to win 90% of my trades, I'm going to continue to trade the grid, so I buy in again. And so let's see what happens. And the market begins to move, a little bit of sideways movement. That's okay. Let's see what takes place. I'm right back at break even. And let's see. Bingo. Okay, so now I just hit the next level. I made 115 pips. Automatic closed out. But because I know absolutely nothing about the Forex market, I'm going to buy in again. And there's my grid. Let's see what happens. So I'm holding my buy trade. And all this is automated, by the way. Once you launch your grid trading, it's automated. And so you don't have to do anything. This will automatically close you out and apply your grids for you and manage your positions, which is actually extremely smart technology. And bingo. So the market rallies up, hits 115 pips, automatically closes me out. But because I don't know anything about the Forex market, but I still want to win 90+% of my trades, I buy in again. So let's see what takes place. Bingo. The market rallies up, another 115 pips. And I buy in again because I relaunched my grid. I don't know anything about the market, so I'm just grid trading. So let's see what takes place. Grid, G-R-I-D, G-R-I-D, grid. So let's see. I'm holding my buy. Market goes against me. Okay, so I'm in. Grid goes to work. I'm buying in again. Grid goes to work. Market comes down. I'm buying again. So now what happens is all this is being managed for me. So I could be at home, I could be at work, I could be at school, I could be on vacation. All this is being done for me, okay? So my break even, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 trades in. My break even is going to be in the middle of those trades, but I need the net 115 pips before I can close out. The name of the game is to net your pips, okay? So let's see what takes place. The grid takes care of its job, rallies up, goes halfway through, I make my 115. Go ahead and type in yes, why yes, if you can see that the grid did its job. I was able to walk away with my 115 pips, and now I am, we're going to reapply the matrix a handful of times, okay? So you're going to see plenty of examples of this. We're going to do, after this, we're going to do any currency pair of your choice. Now, because you don't know anything about the Forex market, but you still want to win 90+% of the time, you're going to relaunch your grid, you're going to buy into the market, and you're going to continue to play the game, okay? You have an automatic net closeout of 115 pips. So let's see what ends up taking place. And bingo, there's the net closeout, 115 pips. And because you don't know anything about the Forex market, you buy in again because you're grid trading. Type in ME, M-E, if you're starting to see how simple this really is. Type in ME, M-E, if you see how profitable this truly is. When done correctly and when done right, this thing can rake in the profits. Now, the reason why we have not been doing this in-house is because this has been such a monstrous manual process to where time-wise it will take hours upon hours upon hours, basically like 2 or 3 full-time jobs just to manage this. It's highly successful, and some traders have even partnered up, and some traders, like 3 or 4 traders at a time, are managing it, but they're doing it manually, which just takes up way too much time. Now we've been able to automate your grid, so we can make this simple, it's easy, it's a click of a button, it's relaxed, and more importantly, it works. This is, so far, 8 closeouts, 100% hit rate since March 17th, so 1 month, and you're looking at 115 times it by 8, that's 920 pips. Now we're going to do this off of another currency pair of your choice. I want to try to find a really, really hard and a really, really tough currency pair. But before I do, let's just measure the happiness levels. Would you be happy winning 8 trades or having 8 net closeouts at 115 pips, netting over 920 pips in the last 30 days off of one currency pair? You can do this off of 2 or 3 currency pairs, no problem, allowing you to generate thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of pips. Type in yes if you would be happy or ecstatic with a 920 pip net closeouts and 100% strike rate. Okay, give me a currency pair. Give me a currency pair that is extremely difficult to trade. Give me a currency pair that you're kind of like, Josh, you know, I don't see how anybody could ever make money off of this currency pair. Give me the hardest one you can think of. Type it into the question section box. Let's apply grids onto it. Let me show you how this can take even the worst of the worst conditions and make them profitable. Think about it. Give me a hard one. Give me a real tough one. Okay, Euro US dollar. Mohammed says, I don't think anybody can make money off Euro US dollar. Okay, let's see. It's a little different. Okay, well, let's see. EUR USD. Let's walk through the formula. Okay, any currency pair, any time frame, doesn't matter. Any currency pair, any time frame, doesn't matter. Now, here's the deal with the Euro US dollar. I'm going to write out the steps. Remember, write down these profits, okay? Excuse me. Now, number 1, 500 bars of memory. Number 2, mark the highest and lowest price. Number 3, measure the distance between the highest and lowest price. Number 4, listen to me, number 4 is what? What's number 4? Take that number, and times it by 3. Number 5, divide that number by 2. Divide, number 6, divide that number by 10. You now have the distance between the levels of your grid. Okay, let's do that together. Let's walk you through the steps. Okay, so step 1, 500 bars memory. Check, 500 bars memory. Step 2, find the highest point and find the lowest point. Check. Step 3, measure the distance. That distance is 337 pips. 337 pips, okay? Now, times that number by 3. What is that? 337 times it by 3 is what? 337 times it by 3 is 1,011. So 1,011 pips. Now take that number, 1,011, and divide that by 2. What is that? Divide this by 2. That is 505 pips. 505. Now take 505 and divide that by 10. What's that number? 505. Divide that by 10. That's 50 pips. 50 pips is the distance. Does everybody see here as a trader how each currency pair is going to have a little bit of a different grid? Okay? You as an investor, it's very, very important that if you're going to grid trade, you follow this formula. This formula is designed to make you lethal, to make you highly accurate and to protect you. This formula will automatically take into consideration of the average daily trading ranges, the distance between high prices and low prices to make you super effective, okay? Now, we know long-term that the euro-US dollar has been inside of a big giant consolidation range, and we also know that 1.0900 is a level of resistance off of the monthly time frame. So this one's a little bit easier. But let's go ahead and apply the grid, okay? We're going to right-click. We're going to right-click on the charts, and you see where it says matrix? That matrix, I'm the only one that has the matrix available, but I'm going to make it available to you, okay? So I'm going to left-click over matrix, and I'm going to fill in my information. Now remember, if you are a mastermind trader, a leveling trader, or a target trader, this is a must-have tool for you. This is going to make your life super relaxed and super simple with the way that you like to trade. Now the number of levels, you can do up to 10. I'm going to be teaching investors how to strategically utilize different levels, okay? But I'm going to be using 10 in this example. I can do my lot sizes, the distance in pips. It's going to be 50. I have the option to have my grid only above the market, below the market, or both sides. I'm going to use both sides grid. Because the market hit 1.0900, we know that the market was falling down bearish. So we're going to share with you and show you the back test of the results of the overall bearish movement. But then when we relaunch this, we're going to have to launch this bullish. So for those of you that have the grid, or for those of you that are going to get the grid, what I need you to understand that if you're going to use it on a euro-US dollar, you need to use it buying right now. Type in yes, why yes, if you understand that. The euro-US dollar has a nice sideways movement off of the monthly time frame, weekly time frame, daily time frame. Right now, the market's getting ready to rally up 1,000 pips. This is a perfect currency pair to use the grid buying, okay? But we already know 1.0900 is a resistance level off of the monthly and weekly, so I'm going to type in sell just so you can see the results. Now, I'm going to demonstrate to you I know absolutely nothing about the Forex market strategy, but I still want to win 90+% of my trades. After I demonstrate this, I'll show you the advanced strategy, okay? Now, I'm going to close all my orders at 50 pips. I'm going to select OK, and 3, watch the grid, 3, 2, 1, release. Type in yes if you can see that now I have my grid placed. Everything is simple, straightforward, automatic, right to the point. Okay, so we know on how you utilize your grid, you know that as an investor, you say to yourself, okay, you find the grid top. The grid top in this one is 1.0900. Let's just say you came in here and you said, hey, I'm going to try to catch this early. And for whatever reason, you look at your charts and you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to start the selling process now. I'm not really sure exactly where the resistance is going to be, but I know it's coming. I know the U-turns around here. So what you're going to do is you're going to launch your grid. And when the market touches your grid, you sell the market. Now, you're looking for a closeout of 50 pips because you know nothing about the Forex market. You're basically just using the guidance of like client presentations. You're reading our Facebook pages and you're reading our forums and you're just kind of like, okay, Josh, you know, you guys think bearish, so I'm just going to turn on my grid bearish. That's what you kind of do, okay? So let's see what takes place. The market rallies up, hits the grid. You enter in the market selling. The market falls down. And then what happens? You close out. Why? Because the first trade is break even. Your second trade is 50 pips. So this is a net closeout of 50 pips. Okay. So net closeout of 50 pips, and you're done with that trade. But because you know absolutely nothing about the Forex market, you say to yourself, okay, I'm just going to keep trading my grids because everybody thinks the euro is going to fall. So, you know, I'm just going to continue to trade my grid and trade with all this protection. Falls down, you make another 50 pips. 50 pips. But because you know nothing about the Forex market, you're just going to, and you want to win 90% of your trades, you just continue on with the grid. So you keep the short trade going and it falls down. So you make another 50 pips. But because you know nothing about the Forex market, you're just going to trade grids because you want to win 90+% of your trades. So what do? You just turn it on again. So what ends up happening? The market begins to fall bearish and bingo, there's your 50 pips. But because you know nothing about the Forex market, but yet you still want to win 90+% of your trades, look what happens. Type in me, M-E, if you're starting to see how profitable this is. You're just kind of like, Josh, this is amazing. Josh, this is incredible. I know. Can you imagine the frustration on our end to have and know strategies like this and say this is probably one of the most profitable strategies that's available, but yet not be able to do it because it takes like 3 people to manage it. And then finally to be able to receive and authorize. Listen, it took me, you can ask, it took me a couple years to fight and argue and not dictate, because fight and argue and campaign for the funds for Market Traders Institute to finally say, okay, Josh, okay, we can do this for you. This is incredible. Now watch, the market goes against us, grid trading takes control, you enter in, and you're looking for a 50 pip net closeout. Bingo, 50 pip net closeout, you're done. But because you know nothing about the Forex market and you're looking to win 90+% of your trades, you're entering into the market selling, and let's see what happens. Here you currently are, so you're entering into your second trade. Okay, so what does this look like? Now, by the way, if you're doing this, I'm going to turn around, I'm going to tell you, okay, stop selling the market, let the market dip, take your profits, and then start buying the market again. What does this look like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Even of the worst for those strategies and those currency pairs that you're just kind of like, it is just impossible for me to generate income, it's working. So what if you're the type of trader that says, hey Josh, I have a favorite strategy already. You know, I consider myself to be a pretty good trader. You know, I'm already pretty advanced. I've gone through the education. When I say the market goes up, the market typically goes up. When I say the market goes down, the market typically goes down. How would something like this benefit me? Type in me, M-E, if you'd like for me to demonstrate to you how an advanced investor would utilize this to optimize their favorite strategy to amplify their results. Okay. Now, this was DAN. This time frame was from March 17th, so this was 30 days. Now, in the beginning of this presentation, we discussed, remember we went over the euro-yen, and we said, hey, you know, the euro-yen has broken the downtrend line. We said the euro-yen is now in the buy zone off the weekly time frame. We said we're at the backside of the trend line, which is a U-turn level. We said that it is fulfilling a down sub-D extension and that there's more reasons for the market to go up than for the market to go down. And we said that there's just shy of about a 300 pip buying opportunity towards the north, right? We said about 263 pips left of bullish movement. We said we're going to go to the 1 hour time frame, and off the 1 hour time frame, we're going to strategically wait for the counter trend line break. Bullish is going to open the door to 200 plus pips, or almost 300 pips buying. So someone like you who trades this way, like I like to trade, what you're going to do, because you know about the Forex market, you know you have your favorite entry strategy, you're going to apply the grid buying in your direction, okay? So you're going to follow the same exact process, just like you would do normally, okay? Remember, step 1, make sure we have to determine the levels, the distance between the grids, but step 1, 500 bars of memory. Step 2, find and mark the layer of the highest point and the lowest point. Step 3, measure the distance from the high price to the low price. This is 698 pips, so 698. And what do we times that number by? You tell me, what do we times that number by? Times it by 3, what's that number? 698 times it by 3, that's 2,094. 2,094. Now we take 2,094 and we times that number by what? We divide that number by what? Divide that number by 2, and that's what? 2,094, divide that by 2. That is 1047. 1047, and then we take 1047, divide that number by what? divide that by 10, and that becomes, what is that number? Divide that by 10, that is 104. So we have 104 pips is the distance. So this is how you would set this up if you are an advanced investor and you're going to be utilizing this, okay? Now, you're going to right-click over your charts. You're going to select Matrix. You're then going to put in your number of levels, 10, okay? You're going to have the distance between the levels, 104. You're going to do both sides, okay? You're buying the market, and you're not going to use close all. So you're not going to click on close all orders. You're not going to do that. Instead, you're going to put a limit, and your limit's going to be your exit point, which is going to be 118.22. And I select OK. Watch what happens. Type in yes if you can see that this market has applied my grid onto the charts, and my grid has stopped at my limit. So basically, I have all the protection in case the market goes against me, and then I have all the reward when the market goes for me. So what does this look like for you if you were to do this? Right now, there's 263 pips of opportunity. So the first trade is 115.57 minus 118.22 would make 265 pips off the first trade. So the first trade would be 265 pips, okay? Now, if this market were just to rally bullish right now and just take off and just say, hey, you know, we're going up, what would that look like? Well, your first trade would make 265 pips. Your second trade, you would buy in at 116.63 minus 118.22. You'd make 159 pips off your second trade. So second trade would be plus 159. And your third trade would be what? Your third trade buys in at 117.67 minus 118.22, 55 pips. 55 pips. So your net is what? So 265 plus 159 plus 55, 479 pips. This formula holds true across the board when you use this as an investor and you're advanced. What do I mean by that? If you're trying to discover and wonder and quantify, you're trying to say to yourself, well, what would this do for my impact? Typically, this will double your returns. Okay, so if you're used to making 1,000 pips, then you should make 2,000 pips. If you're used to making 500 pips, then you should make 1,000 pips. If you're used to making 2,000 pips, then you should make 4,000 pips. Type in yes, why yes, into the question section box. If you understand that if you are an active investor and you know and you're more advanced and you know exactly how this market works and you're wondering whether or not or how this would affect your trading, whatever your returns are, double it. That's the expectation for you. Type in yes, if that makes sense. Okay, now I'm about to get going and I'm about to leave. But before I leave, what I wanted to do is I wanted to ask the investors who are looking at this and are saying to themselves, well, this is simple. This is easy. I can see how this works. There's a lot of protection in this. Type in me, M-E, into the question section box if you want me to give you details of this program so that you can make the decision on whether or not you want this. If you're a mastermind trader, a leveling trader, or a target trader, you better be typing in me into the question section box because you should already know how this is going to alter and change your performance for the better. This is going to save you so much time, so much energy. It's going to increase your results. On top of all this, this can be alert triggered. Your favorite indicators, for those of you that love stochastic RSIs, we can program this and trigger this to where when the stochastic RSI U-turns, your grids turn on. If you're a Fibonacci trader and you like trading your D extensions, we can turn on your grid after your D extension has been fulfilled. If you like alerts or price points or systems, this is going to be amazing for you, okay? So this is really a fantastic, well thought out, smart technology. But this is what's called the Grid Trading course, okay? And this is a live class. This is my class, okay? I'm the owner of this program. I've been pushing this for a very, very long time, and I'm very, very excited to now have the technology to provide it to you. Now, for those of you that are not very advanced at trading, don't worry, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 3 total strategies. I'm going to give you a position style trading, a swing trading style, and a scalping style. Okay, so with this program, you're going to receive 3 unique strategies. And I'm also going to help you amplify your current results with optimizing any entry strategy of your choice. The goal here is to help you win upwards of 90+% of the time, taking any strategy and making it a 90+% winner, okay? So what do you get? Well, you get a 4-hour class, on-demand recordings, access to the Matrix tool, 3 strategies, checklists, manuals, workspaces, and the ongoing access to the class. I call this my universal trading with grid trading. You can trade directly from your charts. You can manually trade. You can set up alerts to automatically trigger your grid. You can use signals, or you can use price entries to automatically trigger your grid. So it's really smart technology, and it works around the clock. Now, what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to give you not only the live class, but I'm going to give you what's called a 4-hour trading session. It's going to be once a month. You get one of these, and it's called Fill in the Gap Sessions. What the heck does that mean? Okay, it works like this. You and I are going to train together. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to educate you. I'm going to show you how to implement this, and then you're going to go do it. And within 30 days, you and I are going to have a follow-up. It's going to be a 4-hour follow-up. I call it my Fill in the Gap. This is where you come back and you say, hey, Josh, I've been using this. This is my struggle. This is my issue. This is my question. How do I solve it? Type in me, M-E, into the question section box if you like that concept. To where I'm going to hold your hand, I'm going to work with you, mentor you, and guide you, teach you, and educate you. You're going to go do everything which I tell you to go do. You're going to come back and say, these are my problems, these are my struggles, and I'm going to give you that solution, okay? That is beautiful for this follow-up. It's called my Fill in the Gap Sessions, okay? Here's my expectations. My expectations, when you have this, you're going to be able to optimize any strategy. You're going to amplify your results. It is a must-have for the following traders. If you're a mastermind trader, leveling student, or target trader, you must have this. This is something that's going to completely make your trading simple, easy, and extremely profitable. If you're a trader who wants to win 90+% of the time, or if you're an investor who wants to take control of wave movements, you're going to love this. Now, let's break this down. Grid trading course, manuals, checklists, class recordings, live trading follow-ups, and unlimited class reattendance. This is a total value of $3,495 US. And you hear me say this a lot, and it's very, very true, and it's very, very accurate. And so what I want everyone to do is I want everyone to put their investment caps on, and I want you to look at this as an investment. I want you to ask yourself the most important question of all. What's the return, right? If you invest your time, energy, money, resources, what do you get in return, and is it worth it to you? So put your investment caps on, and if you can just honestly answer the following questions, it can kind of help you decide whether or not this is worth it. If all this program did for you was teach you the life skill, grid trading, so that you can consistently generate income and win upwards of 90+% of the time, would it be worth the investment? Yes or no? If all this program did was teach you how to generate consistent returns which were reliable, to where you can make an extra $7,000 to $8,000 a month, month after month after month for the rest of your life, would it be worth the investment? Yes or no? Stop and really think about it. You know, and if all this really did was just allow you to make enough money so that you can begin to plan a trip, a vacation, to go give you the confidence to make your income so reliable that you go out and you actually go buy that new vehicle you want, maybe make the move to go live in the house and live in the area where you want to go live, or just simply just set aside time off of work and just spend more time with your family because you can afford it, would that be worth the investment? Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are entering into what's called our early bird savings. And the reason why we did this, the reason why we're doing this is in our celebration of our 23rd anniversary. We're having our event take place right now. And so what we want to do is give everybody an exclusive price point up front with the biggest savings. So by taking action and getting involved in the early bird savings, what you can do is you can save $1,500 US to where you don't have to pay $34.95, to where your enrollment can be just $19.95. At this point in time, what I want you to do is I want you to type your telephone number into the question section box. And when you type your telephone number into the question section box, what that will do is allow us to reserve a spot for you. And when we reserve a spot for you, it's going to give you the ability to receive the Matrix tool before anybody else and apply and utilize the grid trading before anybody else. Now, what I want to do is recognize the following investors who just typed their telephone numbers into the question section box. I want to go ahead and say thank you to CHI, David, MIN, Melton, Terrence, James, Ellen. I got your telephone number. I want to say thank you to Ladella and Ted, Ninad, and Hazel. I have your telephone number. We'll go ahead and hold one of these spots for you. Kaya, Alib, Ryan, Nelson, Tom, Gary, Muhammad, Michael, Steve, got your telephone number. Have one of our education specialists reserve a spot for you. We can contact you. We can answer any and all of your questions, put you in a position of great empowerment. David and Daniel, Jonathan, Josh, got your telephone number. We'll have one of our education specialists reach out to you. Lennox, Ziv, Scott, Judy, Rosemary, Robert, Frank, Mark W., Ramsey, Barbara, Jack, Thomas, Richard, Terry, Torred, and Christopher, got your telephone. Now, it wouldn't be a presentation with me if I did not give you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of extras. Now, one of the great things about working here at Marketers Institute is we are able to incentivize investors for taking action. So this is what I want you to do, okay? If you're ready to get started now, what I want you to do is type in bonus, B-O-N-U-S, into the question section box. The reason why is if you type in bonus, you're going to be entitled to receiving these additional resources, tools, and technologies. Bonus number one, instead of receiving 1 month of live trading follow-ups, you're going to receive a total of 3 months of live trading follow-ups, which means you and I will work with each other inside the class for 4 hours, and then for the following 3 months, you and I will have 4-hour follow-up fill-in-the-gap sessions, which means I can mentor you, I can guide you, I can educate you, I can help you overcome your stumbling blocks for a total of 4 months, which means the first month you and I work with each other, and the 3 months to follow we have fill-in-the-gap sessions. Type in bonus, B-O-N-U-S, and you're going to be entitled to this. Everyone else who waits, they only get 1 month. Now, and the second bonus, bonus number 2, in my opinion, is something which is going to save you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars over your lifetime of being an investor. Now, as you can imagine, a strategy like this that took a tremendous amount of investment on MTI side, MTI is looking for a return on the investment. And a tool that is unique, a tool that is exclusive, and a tool that's only available here at Marketers Institute. Marketers Institute wants to offer this Matrix tool at a subscription to where you enroll to the grid trading and then you have a month-to-month cost to it, a maintenance fee, okay? Now, by getting involved in the early bird enrollment, we're going to eliminate that maintenance fee, which gives you lifetime ownership of the Matrix tool, which means as long as you have the charting software, you will always have the Matrix tool. This is exclusive for the early bird traders. Everyone else who waits will be charged a monthly maintenance fee after they enroll into the program, okay? So getting started now is going to be the best time. If this is something of interest to you, which I personally believe is of tremendous interest, I want you to type in bonus, B-O-N-U-S, in the question section box and reserve your spot immediately, okay? I want to go ahead and recognize the following investors who just typed in bonus. I want to let you know that we'll reserve one of these spots and we're going to provide and hold one of these lifetime ownerships for you, okay? I want to say thank you to Ziv, I got you for bonus. Terry and Scott, Ramsey, Thomas, have you for bonus. Jackie, Jeremy, have you for bonus. Sanjeev, Jan, Curtis, Richard, Robert, Florian, have you for bonus. Barbara, Robert, Frank, Mark W, Judy, got you for bonus. Jamie, Rosemary. Now, What this means, that this entire package, when you put everything together, this entire package with your bonuses is now a value of $5,485 US dollars. You're still going to get everything that's basically is $5,500 US dollar value. You're going to get it still for $1,995, which is going to save you $3,490 US dollars. Now, here's what I love about this, everyone. We do have the ability and we do have the opportunity to expedite your sign-on process. If you have questions, by all means, we'll answer any and all of your questions and put you in a position of empowerment so you can make an intentional decision on whether or not you want to do this. Okay, but if you have already made up your mind and you're kind of like, hey, Josh, I'm ready to get started now. I've seen it, I like it, I love it. Don't say it anymore. I'm ready to get started. Click on the link in the question section box, and what this will do is expedite your onboarding process. When you click on that link, it's going to bring you directly to a 100% secured online sign-up page. And what that basically means is this. You as an investor will have the ability to enroll online through the comfort of your own home. Okay, it's on demand, and it's available right now. This is a 100% secured online sign-up page. Your enrollment's $19.95, and your savings and fast action bonuses are already reflected. Now, billing information is fill in your first name, last name, address, city, state, zip code, country, phone number, email address. You can get started right now through American Express, Discover, MasterCard, or Visa. Type your credit card number in, expiration date, and you are done. Super simple, right to the point. Now, I want to make sure that you as an investor thoroughly understand exactly what you're getting here, okay? So I'm going to go through this one more time. Here's my expectations. If you have grid trading and you take advantage of this matrix tool, okay, it's going to assist you in optimizing any strategy. Amplify results is a must-have for the following traders. If you're a mastermind trader, a leveling trader, or target trader, you really need to be typing your telephone number into the question section box and acquiring your interest, because you already know it's going to optimize your returns. Now, traders who want to win upwards of 90% of the time, and investors who want to take control of the wave movements, you're already seeing my I know nothing, but I still want to win 90% of my trade strategy. You know that works, and it works very, very well. Now, what you get is a live class. You get 3 strategies, strategy 1, strategy 2, and strategy 3, which is for position, swing, and scalp trading. You're going to learn how to amplify your results and your returns and optimizing your entry strategy of your choice up to a 90+% win ratio. You get a live 4-hour class, on-demand recordings, access to the Matrix tool, 3 strategies, checklists, manuals, workspaces, and ongoing access. This is a universal way of trading, which is grid trading. You trade directly from your charts. You can manually trade. You can have your trades or your grid be triggered through alerts, be triggered through signals, or be triggered through price entry. This is a round-the-clock smart technology. Now, we're giving some fantastic bonuses away for those of you who are getting involved early. What we're doing is not only giving you fantastic savings, but we're going to give you 3 months of live trading follow-ups, which is going to be fill-in-the-gap sessions. They're 4-hour trading sessions a month. And we're going to give you the lifetime ownership bonus, which means you can receive and have your Matrix tool and be entitled to use your Matrix tool as long as you have your charts. Hey, everyone, I'm going to leave this open here for the next 3 to 5 minutes. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for giving us the opportunity to assist you and work with you and mentor you. For those of you who express interest, stay by your phones. We're going to contact you in a few moments. For everybody else, if you're interested in this, what you can do is type in bonus, BONUS, into the question section box. If you're ready to get started now, you can go ahead and click on that link. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Have a wonderful day. And on that note, every day, helping traders find a way. This is Joshua Martinez out.